some dancers died. Some died from heart attacks, some from strokes, some from extreme exhaustion. They literally danced until they died.
Historical mystery. July 1518. The city of Strasbourg. Today, it is in France, but at that time, it was part of the Holy Roman Empire. It was a hard time to live. People were very poor. Food was not always available. Many people were sick. There was fear, hunger, and stress everywhere. Life was difficult. And then, something very strange happened. One day, a woman named Frau Troffea walked into the street. Without warning, she started to dance. There was no music. There was no festival. There was no celebration. She just started dancing. At first, people thought she was joking. Some thought she had gone crazy. Others laughed. But she did not stop. She danced for hours. The sun went down. Night came. She was still dancing. The next day, she was still dancing. And the day after that. For days, she continued moving her body again and again, as if she had no control over it.
Then, something even stranger happened. Other people began to dance too. They did not plan to dance. They did not want to dance. But they could not stop. Within 1 week, about 30 people were dancing in the streets. Within 1 month, that number grew to nearly 400 people. Imagine walking through a city and seeing hundreds of people dancing non-stop. But this was not happy dancing. Their faces showed pain. Their bodies were shaking. They looked tired and afraid. They danced day and night. Some screamed, some cried, but they kept moving. It was as if their bodies were no longer under their control. Soon, the situation became dangerous. The dancers were not eating properly. They were not sleeping. They were not resting. Their feet became swollen and bloody. Some people collapsed from exhaustion. And then something terrible happened. Some dancers died. Some died from heart attacks, some from strokes, some from extreme exhaustion. They literally danced until they died. The city was in shock. What was happening? Was it a disease? Was it madness? Was it a curse? No one knew. The city leaders were very worried. They needed a solution. But instead of stopping the dancing, they made a surprising decision. They believed the dancers had a sickness that could only be cured by more dancing. So they built a wooden stage. They hired musicians. They brought drums and pipes. They thought music would help the dancers dance it out and recover. But this made everything worse. When the music started, even more people joined. The number of dancers increased. The city streets became filled with moving bodies. The problem was now completely out of control. After seeing that music did not help, the leaders changed their minds. At that time, people were very religious. Many believed that disasters were punishments from God.
Some thought the dancers were cursed by Saint Vitus, a saint connected to strange illnesses and dancing. So the leaders stopped the music. They destroyed the stage. They sent the dancers to a nearby shrine to pray. They hoped prayer would end the curse. Slowly, after several weeks, the dancing began to decrease. Little by little, people stopped. Finally, the strange plague ended. But the mystery remained.
Even today, no one knows the exact reason for the dancing plague of 1518. However, historians have some ideas. One theory is extreme stress. At that time, people were starving. There had been famines. There were diseases like smallpox and syphilis. Life was full of fear. Some experts believe the people experienced something called mass hysteria. This is when a large group of people share the same psychological problem. Their stress and fear may have caused their bodies to react in a strange way. Another theory involves food poisoning. Some historians believe the people may have eaten bread made from rye that was infected with a fungus called ergot. This fungus can cause hallucinations, muscle spasms, and strange behavior. But there is no strong proof for this idea. So the true cause is still unknown. The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of the strangest events in history. There was no clear enemy, no visible monster, no obvious disease, just people dancing. Dancing in pain, dancing in fear, dancing until some of them died. It sounds like a story from a horror movie, but it really happened. And the biggest question still remains: why did they dance? Was it stress, poisoned food, religious fear, or something we still do not understand?
The dancing plague of 1518 remains one of the strangest events in human history. There was no war, no invasion, no visible monster. Yet an entire city lived in fear. Hundreds of people danced without wanting to. Some danced until they collapsed. Some danced until they died. More than 500 years have passed since that summer in Strasbourg, but the mystery remains unsolved. No one can say for certain what caused it. Was it mass hysteria? Poisoned bread? Religious fear? Or was it something we still do not understand? Perhaps the real mystery is not why the people started dancing, but how an entire city became trapped by something no one could see. And that is why, even today, the dancing plague of 1518 remains one of history's greatest mysteries, a mystery that continues to puzzle the world. And maybe it always will.